Hey everybody, it's Shasta here. I just wanted to thank you for tuning into my channel and checking out the tutorial on how to make these earrings here. I appreciate you coming here and let's get started. Okay, so there are 3 sizes for this pattern. I'm going to be doing the largest size in this video here, but there is a medium and a small one. And I will eventually have a link to where you can purchase the pattern if you don't want to follow along with the video. But you do need to make sure you have your supplies here. So you're going to need your thread, your scissors, a tatting needle, and your needle threader. I'm using a size 3 tatting needle, and then I like to use embroidery scissors because they get down close to the stitches. I'm using a size 10 cotton thread. This is the brand, and then I'm using the color Tropical Pink if you'd like to use this same color. So we'll go ahead and get started here. The first element is a ring, and so we'll thread the needle here and then get started on that. There are 9 elements to this pattern, so it works up pretty quick. And so for the ring, what you'll do is you'll start out with 14 double stitches. I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself here. You do need about probably 24 inches of thread, or 60 centimeters should be good. So okay, so 14 double stitches is what you'll start out with, followed by a picot, and then 8 double stitches, a picot, and 14 double stitches, and then you'll close the ring. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. And I always like to double check here. So I'm counting the stitches. And then you do a picot. And then 8 double stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then another picot. And then you'll do 14 more double stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, and then you will pull the stitches off the needle here. So you'll end up with 14 picot, 8 picot, 14. And then you'll pull the stitches off and then close the ring. And I am doing voiceover at this part because for some reason when I first recorded this, the sound was cutting in and out. So this first 10 minutes or so is going to be a voiceover part of me following along. So we'll close the ring here. And we aren't going to be turning in this pattern. And this is the only ring we'll do. Everything else after this is a chain. So we'll close the ring and then tie a knot to secure it. But don't turn. So there's your ring. And then after you secure it with the knot, your next element is going to be a chain that is 14 double stitches, picot, 14 double stitches, and then at the end of that chain, after you've secured it, you're going to join it to the picot, one of the picots on the ring we just made. Okay, so here we'll do 14, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then a picot, and then 14 again, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14, and double check stitches. You should have 14, a picot, and then 14 more stitches. And then my picot's really tiny on here. If you do that, you can always just run your needle through the picot after you've pulled the stitches off the needle. I'll pull on mine sometimes, but that can kind of fray the thread, so you gotta be careful when you do that. So pull the stitches off the needle, and this is a chain, so we won't be closing this, so just pull them all the way through the thread, and then it will curve, which is normal. So you'll secure the end of that chain with a knot, and then after you've done that, you'll run the needle through the picot on the ring we just did. And I like to put another knot after I run it through the picot. You don't have to do that. I just like to, so it stays nice and secure. So you'll do another knot there if you like. Otherwise, you can just run it through and start your next element, which will be another chain, and it's going to be a chain of 12, and we'll do it from that picot to the next picot, because we're going to join in that picot there again. So 12 double stitches here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And then pull the stitches off the needle and tie a knot at the end of that chain. And then after you've done that, you will run the needle through that remaining picot right there on the ring and secure it. And that is our third element. Next element after you secure this, next element is another chain, and it is just like the first chain we did. It'll be 14 picot 14, so it will match that side there. Alright, so we'll go ahead and do this fourth element, and I'm going to go ahead and fast forward here since you've seen this part. That way you don't have to sit here listening to me count stitches. So I will meet you back here in just a moment. And then I'll slide all the stitches off the needle. A chain here, so secure the end of that, and again, you're not turning, we're just gonna keep going the same direction. Knot the end of that chain, and then you're going to be joining this
chain right here at the base. So you kind of just want to find a spot where you can join it in there and just try to make it appear as symmetrical as you can. Sometimes I'll pull the thread back out if it doesn't look quite how I want it to, if it doesn't look even. So just get it as even as you can. That's about what it should look like that. And then secure it with a simple knot here. Okay, so we have four elements done, almost halfway done with this already. So our fifth one is going to be another chain, and it will be just a chain of 18. And what we'll be doing is chaining 18 and then securing it to this picot right here that's kind of hard to see. And if your picots are really tiny, you can always run your needle through, which I'm going to do right now to kind of stretch it out. So we're going to join it to that picot. Okay, so chain 18. Okay, so we have 18 stitches, and I'm going to double check here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, so pull the stitches off the needle and secure that chain, and then we will run the needle through this picot here, and that's what it should look like, and then secure it. And then our next element is going to be another chain, and this time it'll be a chain of 20 that we'll do and then secure right here at that spot. So we'll do a chain of 20. $18, $19, and $20. Oops. All right. So pull the stitches off the needle and all the way through, and then secure the end of that chain with a knot. And then we will be joining right here. And again, just you'll want to make it look as symmetrical as you can. There's not really an exact spot. Just run the needle through and then see if it looks how you'd like it to look. There you go, like that. Secure with a knot. And then after this, we're going to do another chain, and this time it will be 18, and we'll do it and secure it right here on the other side. 18, and pull the stitches off the needle, secure with a knot, and then we'll join right here. Just run your needle through. So looks like that, and then secure with a knot again. And then we're going to repeat this side just opposite. So we'll do a chain of 20 and then join to the picot here, which again is tiny. So there we go. 20, join to picot, and then 18, and then we'll join at the base right here. Okay, so we'll do 20. 20. empty. Pull the stitches off, needle, and then secure the knot. And join to this picot right here. And then again secure with a knot. And then we'll do 18 double stitches. (17) 18. Pull stitches off the needle and secure the end of that chain with a knot. And then we'll be joining right here, and I just try to make it look as symmetrical as I can. So I'll kind of look at the other side here, and you can see it looks a little off, so you just kind of have to put it in the best spot you can, and then when you go to starch it, you'll manipulate the thread so it appears as symmetrical as you can get it. And I don't think I'm gonna like that spot. We're gonna do a little bit closer here in the middle. There we go. And so I pulled that all the way through, and that is how it should look. So secure with a knot, and I always do 2 here at the end, so I'll do this one and pull it very, very tight, and then I'll do a second one, and alright, so there's the finished earring. And then I'll just want to cut your tails here, and then you'll weave in your ends. And I like to weave it in kind of the same direction that the tail is going, so I'll do like this tail here. I'm going to go through these stitches because that's the direction it's going. I'll show you how I do that here with the needle threader. And I always hold on to my stitches so it doesn't stretch them out there. And I'll go through, usually 5 or 6 stitches is good, and before I clip off the ends. There's 4, we'll do 6. And if you want to weave it like all the way through that chain, you can. This is just how I like to do it because I feel like this part's really tedious. So I like to get it over with quickly. Alright, so there's that one. And then I'll weave in this other tail on this side. And when you weave in the ends, sometimes it can distort the way the chain looks a little, which is normal. So just after you've weaved it in, just kind of shape it the way you want it to look, and then just make sure when you starch it, you've shaped it, and then shouldn't be a problem for how it ends up looking. And then after I've weaved in my ends and I go to starch, you can use any kind of fabric stiffener solution. You can also use Elmer's glue and dilute it with water. And then once you've starched it, you can add on the hardware. So here is our finished earring, I'm gonna clip the ends. All right, and there we go. Oop, there is our finished earring. So you'll just make a second one to finish your pair, and then you're good to go. All right, and then next I'll show you how to do the starching and adding on the hardware. Okay, so I use this product for the fabric stiffener, and then I have a small glass bowl with a small paintbrush, and then I just dab on the starch onto the earring. And I just like to dab it on there really good so you get down in all the crevices of the stitches. And then I'll turn it over and do the same to the other side. And once I've done that, I use a paper towel to dab off the excess. And after that, then you can shape it to the way you'd like it to be. And then you'll let it dry. I usually let it dry for 24 hours, and you can always restart it too if you'd like. Yeah, and that's all you got to do for starching. And now adding the hardware. I have a pair here that I already had hardware on, so I went ahead and removed the hardware. So this one's going to show a tiny little hole there at the top, but that's just where you would have inserted the jump ring the first time. So putting the jump ring in, and then you'll add on the hook, and you don't have to use a jump ring. I like the earrings to dangle a little more and sway, so I use a jump ring. And then you will need those jewelry pliers there to close that jump ring. And there you go. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.